the idea that you got here when you did, and then you had the kind of season that you had. Can you just sort of give, what's your overview on how this freshman season has gone for you?
For me, I feel like I had a decent season. You know, like you said, when I got here 3.5 months ago, and just taking everything in from the older guys, and with the season I have, I give my props to Coach Jay and the whole defensive staff for trusting me, because I know how late I got there. I have to take in the whole the defensive schemes, and as well as my brothers on the D-line unit and also on the offensive line, just like getting me prepared and helping me through practice and through fall camp and everything like that.
What did it take mentally to come in then and learn the defense and learn your role? I mean, obviously you have great physical skills, but how did you get yourself mentally prepared to contribute that much?
For me, it was just keep your head down and stay in the books and stay back a little later to watch film more than me with Coach Jay one-on-one, and that was my motto coming in, is after every practice, watch film with him and ask the older dudes, just little tips and things I can get from them to apply to my game. But that was it for me. Just keep your head down, watch film, do the extra work, so it can get you more prepared.
And obviously you have an important game here in front of you, but when you look ahead a little bit to next season, what do you think it'll do for you that, okay, now I came in and I had this freshman season, what do you think that next step will be like for you now that you have this experience?
I feel like the next step for me was just, keep doing what I'm doing, but, take it up one more notch, and, still keep my head down, be humble, keep God close, and continue to be the better version of myself.
JT, now that you've had time to breathe a little bit after Ann Arbor and figuring out sort of what all unfolded there, what's your takeaway of what unfolded in the game, and what maybe you can do here in a bowl prep here to get ready for one more football game to try to take some steps toward amendment?
If I answer your question correctly, I think from that game, it's just like any other game. The Oregon game we lost, we just came back, regrouped, and focused on another game. I think with this one, with this big bowl game we got coming up, we can't really dwell that much on the Ann Arbor game, but I think we learned a lot from it, and with this bowl game coming up, we're focused on Utah and that there.
What's an example of something you learned?
I think for something we learned, it was just you got to regroup. I mean, just like I said, the Oregon loss was tough, but I think as a brotherhood, as close as we are, we come together, we go in the film room, we learn from it, and we just keep going forward.
Their offensive coordinator after the game on a radio show or something said he didn't think you guys were as physical as they were. Thought that they could outmuscle you. I know some folks have heard that, some folks haven't. Did you hear it? Did you take it to heart? What did you think about it?
Just like everything else, give props to them, but I think for us, after that game, we came here, we watched film, we made the corrections we needed to make, and from there, we just keep moving forward.
What's your level of motivation for this last game, JT?
Level of motivation is really high. This being our last game, I want to send our older brothers out, in the correct way.
What does it do in terms of, do you feel like it's a stepping stone too for the defense, like an opportunity to kind of transition into spring practice? This is kind of the path that the defense wants to take in 2022? Or, what does it mean for you as a younger guy for this Rose Bowl? Like, I don't know. Like, do you see progress being made? Do you see progress, things like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think progress is always, if you're not progressing throughout the week or throughout the years, I feel like there's something wrong. But with our team, we're gradually always getting better each and every day. And with this game coming up, it's a very important game. But I feel like this week we've been doing a good job, just getting better and better each day.
How motivated are you guys to get that bad taste out of your mouth in this one?
We're very motivated, but at the same time, we just gotta, keep our head down and just fix the mistakes and just keep going forward.
Have you taken that? There's been a lot of chirping that this team was soft, this team can't do this and whatever, coming from those guys north of here. I mean, has that motivated this club? And obviously it'll make for an interesting game next year with them, but you're going to be playing another physical team. Is that in the back of your minds?
Yeah, but I think at the same time, it's just got to let the outside noise be outside noise and just, worry about what we have here and just, stay close to the team. And like I said, just, every practice just keep getting better each day.
Coming through these practices, do you sense a little more responsibility coming into your second year for the defensive line, or is your role expanding as these practices have, or is there any difference?
Are you talking as in like
during bowl practice, like as you prepare for Utah? Do you sense your role expanding knowing that you're going into your second year?
Yeah, I feel like just, my freshman year after the next year is just asking, I just feel like, just got to keep progressing more, like I've been saying, and just, keep learning and, just expanding my knowledge around the game.
JT, what's your weight right now?
270.
270. I was asking about the mental aspect of it, the physical aspect of it. The guy, as a true freshman playing on the defensive line in the Big Ten, how do you think that part of it held up for you, and how do you think that'll be different next year?
Are you talking about as
just the grind of you're playing defensive line as a physical position, and you're a teenager, man. Right?
Yeah. I'll say just our O-line helped me, handle everything well. And like they said, coming in here, they're saying, practice will help you for the game. And I mean, it showed a lot. Just going against our O-line every day, it's really made things, I'll say, it made me get ready for the Big Ten season.
JT, you obviously showed up in a good enough physical shape to play basically right away. So when you talk with Coach Mick or the nutritionist and stuff, are you more or less where they want you to be in terms of weight, like body composition and stuff like that as they project forward for you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have goals for myself as well, and just meeting with them and meeting our nutritionist, just knowing what I need to eat or what to cut out to help me lean out or go down in body fat. But to answer your question, yeah, they play a big role, and as well as having my own goals for myself.
When you were out there, did you looked like obviously you could play and they trust you to put out there, but when you finally got out there going against other big time competition, not just your teammates but in games as well, did you feel like your strength, physical strength, kind of held up at this level, or was there anything about that was an adjustment for you?
Yeah, for physical part, I felt like I did pretty well, or I did a decent job holding against the big alignments. But yeah, I think I was very surprised, but I mean, just knowing what I did before getting here, putting in the training and the dedication, I feel like it all paid off. And I think the only thing I needed to change was just your mindset, basically. Transitioning from high school to college ball real quick, you just needed to change your mindset on it.
When you think about now, you have this bowl practice, you're going to have spring ball you didn't have last year. You'll have the early parts of the summer of the program you didn't have last year. How much can you maybe kind of focus on more of the intricacies of the position, the technique side of it, more than just the physicality side of it?
Are you talking about what's my
Just thinking about having time to focus on that.
Oh yeah.
How much better that make you go into the next year?
Yeah, I'm actually very excited, just to get a full off season, not only with Coach Jay, but as well as with Coach Mick and everybody, and nutritionists, just get a full off season before this season. And I feel like, I'm really excited to see, my body and my technique to level up.
JT, you said you mentioned the word surprise. What was the surprise? Just the leap in the amount of talent from college, or high school to college, or the physical side of it, or what was the surprise?
I think for me, like I've been saying, it's just when the O-line talks about practice will get you prepared for the game, and just going against them, and then leading into playing. Probably my first game was Minnesota. I'll say I was just surprised on how what they said was it was true. Just practice sometimes harder than the game, and going against each other will help you prepare more.
Every person who's being recruited out of high school, they hear the term you're going to get to college and it's going to be way bigger, way faster than you think. For a guy like yourself who was always so much bigger and faster and more athletic than most of the guys in high school, was it a greater gap than you expected, and how do you think that you can help teach the next wave of defensive linemen how to do that?
I think for the incoming freshmen, I think my message would be to them is just, keep your same work ethic and keep the same mindset, and just when you get here, just add more to it. I feel like if you can't really overthink about it, just know that everything you've been doing right now is preparing you for this time.
JT, you might have been asked this before I got over here, but the gauntlet's kind of been dropped on you guys about, you heard what the Michigan coach said about going against y'all's defense. Talking how physical you guys, et cetera. Is there kind of a point you guys need to prove in this bowl game? I mean, Utah's known as a physical team, et cetera. I would imagine there's a little bit of scuttlebutt between you guys about maybe not proving a point, but going out and reasserting yourself. I mean, what's sort of driving you for this bowl game?
I think it's just to play Ohio State ball and just play to the best ability we can. And
what is Ohio State ball? What is that?
It's just staying together. I mean, having fun and just playing our ball. It's pretty much in there. It's just not letting anybody dictate us or take us away from each other. I think that's what we're doing in practice too. We're staying together, staying close, bonding well, and competing against each other to make each other better.
Well, when somebody says you're as a group y'all aren't tough enough, et cetera, y'all weren't tough enough, are those fighting words for a defensive player?
I think they're more motivational for us. I think it's just, we go in the meeting room or the film room, we watch film, take what we need to work on and try improving them.
JT, you and Jack have been linked forever because you came together and both really highly rated guys. We talked about earlier how you were kind of sold on the idea of you guys pushing each other through your careers. Has that played out? You guys, you're 5 months into being on the same team, being in the same locker room. Do you two truly push each other? And how that relationship developed from when you got here? I'm sure you knew him, but how has that relationship developed?
Yeah, I mean it developed when I first got here. I didn't really talk to anybody. I was quiet for at least 2 weeks, but I think as we kept moving forward, me and Jack's bond just grew. And I think it's on the field and off the field. We always talk about what we can do better, or what move he used, or how did he use this move in a way to get by a defender, and just we always help each other hand in hand.
Do you and the guys in your class, whether it's Mike, Tyleek, Jack, like those are four guys that could probably be on the field together and make a pretty reasonable defensive line as far as positions and talent. Is that something that crosses your guys' mind? Because if you put those four together right now, I feel like a lot of teams in the country would probably take that any point out.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about it here. Just that idea, and I think for us, it's just we just all got to keep working and all got to keep doing our thing and pushing each other every day to get better.
When you said when you got here, you were quiet and didn't really talk to anybody for 2 weeks. Like, what was that like when you come in kind of late? Was that a hard time?
Yeah.
Or?
I mean, I'm just kind of that person that's always like, it's not. Once I get to know them, I'm very talkative. But I think when I first got here, I was like, I don't know, I came here pretty late. I gotta get on my stuff, and I was just, I was very shy at a point. But it wasn't until the older dudes and Jack and all the other freshmen in my class just helped me open up.
So when you come in at a different time than everybody else, you do kind of feel not like an outsider, but does it take a little? Like, when everybody else shows up, hey, we all showed up in January, or we all showed up in June together.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. I was just, knowing how late I came, I just didn't know what to expect. But, I just told myself, just learn from everybody, keep your head down. And, the talking part will come. But I think for me, it was just, I gotta keep my head down and just work.
That's what's fascinating to me about, like, that you got through that, right? So you're just, like, you're here and you're just trying to get adjusted and sort of, like, fit in. And then you played, like, right away. And played at a high level. I kind of still don't know, like, how you did that. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have a very long period to acclimate, and then all of a sudden, you're playing real snaps in the Big Ten, man. How did you do it?
I think it's just, trusting God, trusting the people around you, and also earning trust. Just proving in practice to show them that, hey, if they do put you out there, they can trust you on the field, because you know, it's a different ball game. You know, when one person doesn't know what they're doing, especially at a young age, it shows. And I think, you know, just with the older dudes and Coach Jay and every single coach in this facility, they helped me get better, and they also trusted me.
Was there ever a point when you're going through it at the beginning where you're like, man, what am I doing here? Came in late. I'm so far from home. I'm trying to get adjusted. Why did I do this? Why am I here?
Yeah, there's times like that where, you know, knowing how late I came, there'll be times where I'm just so surprised how late I came. But, you know, after I got past that situation, it was just, man, you're here, let's get working and let's keep going.
Who's the most important person that helped you get through that stage? Was there a teammate? Was it a coach? Was it someone in your family? Was it another friend here? Like, who really helped you in the end get through that part?
I'll say it's my family and my dad. My dad got me through it a lot. He was, you know, always texting me, you know, always motivating me, like, hey, there's a reason you're here. God made you a path, and, you know, just trust in Him. And, you know, the same with all my family. They always told me that, you know, there's a reason you're here, and let's not change anything. Let's just keep working.
And then they were here a lot for games this season?
Yes, sir.
Does your dad have a touchstone saying he says to you a lot? Meaning, you know, when you're feeling down in the dumps or something. I mean, obviously trusting God, trusting everybody. Is there something he goes to every time that gets you going?
He always tells me that, you know, have a faucet mentality. Be able to turn it on and turn it off. You know, when you're on the field, that mindset comes on. When you're off the field, turn it off. Your brothers. But, you know, when you walk in the facility, it's go time. You know, you got to work, and you always got to do the extra work is also what he says, and do the extra thing that, you know, some people might not like, and sometimes you got to sacrifice your free time to get where you want to be.
Was it worth it waiting as long as you did, do you think, now looking back on it, to do the visits and all that?
Yes, sir. I think for me, it was, you know, it was the right thing to do. With COVID hit it, I couldn't really take any visits, and, you know, I wanted to get my visits down to make sure where I really want to go and where I picked was truly the right place. And I think looking back at it now, it was a smart decision for me and my family.
Is it something,
Last question.
Is it something that you encourage recruits with now as they come on visits? Like, do you go back to your recruitment and say, okay, this is what I went through. Here's some advice for as you go through the recruitment process?
Yeah, I mean, as late as it happened, I would probably say, like, if you need to go that late, yeah. But I think COVID did impact that. But I would say just take your time. You know, just make sure you know, the place you want to go, make sure it's the right place for you and your family. And, you know, don't let anybody dictate you or sway you one way or the other. Just know, or just make sure you feel it in your heart.
JT, thank you very much.